trailers, which you can see on the rear of the car. At the helm of the car is Tim. Okay, very good. 4145, 1911, built by Preston Steel Car Company in McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, and delivered before they changed the name of Pittsburgh by adding the H back on. So, Tim, thank you. Ding, ding. All applause for Area 4145. Alright, we're doing this in chronological order. Instead of pulling up the remain stand now is car 4398. 4398 is a double-ended Pittsburgh streetcar built in 1917 by the St. Louis Car Company. It was totally restored here at the museum from the floor up. The only part that remained majorly intact was the roof. Everything else on that car was pretty much removed during the early 1980s, and then again in 2004 to 2008. So anyway, 4398 served on many routes around Pittsburgh. It was in the North Hills and worked the Spring Hill line until about 1940 when it was stationed in Millville Car House. And then it was rebuilt as a high-speed car so that it could run on lines that were shared by DCC cars, modern streamline cars. It was retired in 1956. It was part of a reserve fleet that was kept around after Bellman cars quit running to be used in emergency situations. On the car there is Sarah. There's Sarah and who's on there with you, Sarah? Aaron. Okay, I can't. He's hiding in the back there. Alrighty, very good. Those are our volunteers right in the car. Ding, ding. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Aaron. We stand with this beautiful American 250 buggy, applied by Devin, our master decorator. Is 3756. 3756 is a single-end version of the car that we just saw, 4398. It was built to operate on the Charlevoix and Washington interurban lines and be used as a car that could go partway with two cars and finish the ride with a single car. This was mainly done on the Charlevoix line, where the car would split at Lifetime Junction in Monongahela, and one car would go to the north and one car would go to Charlevoix. Anyway, they built the cars with that intention, but ultimately they were not easily suited for that kind of work. So they were repurposed during World War II to serve the shipyard on line. 8 of the original 20 cars had a door cut, and you can see there's a door behind the motorman. Which Jack is opening at this time. That's Jack, by the way, our master of everything. Right here. Anyway, it was repurposed because the tracks of the wild ran right next to the road, where passengers would have to get off the car and set them into traffic on a 4-lane highway. So they made the cars, they fixed the cars up for that purpose so that they could be used on that line. And after
Excuse me.
All right, 3756. Ding, ding. Thank you, Jack. 2. Yeah, did that on your West Bend Railways and Allegheny Valley Route car 832. 832 has quite a history here at the museum. It was one of the 3 cars that came here on its own power in 1954. It was joined by the car that we just saw here, 3656, and petty car 81. The car was originally built in 1930 by the Cincinnati Car Company, and is an example of the very popular at that time curb-side design, where the belly of the car is curved in direction strength of steel. So anyway, it ran on the Allegheny Valley route, and it is portrayed here as a Valley route car until 1937, when the line was abandoned because of the reconstruction of Freeport Road. It was transferred on its own power over to Bonneville, where it was put into service on local routes of the West End system around Bonneville, and was used on the South Bonneville line until 1952. It was purchased by the museum in 1952, and it was moved to Charleroy Car House in 1953, where it was put back on its wheels and made active again by Pittsburgh Railways employees, including a man who was for many years one of our volunteers here. And then it was run to Pittsburgh to join the museum's collection at Ingram Car House. This car and the 2 other cars came here on February 7, 1954, as part of a special operation that was very kindly permitted by the Pittsburgh Railways Company. So anyway, the West Bend 32, it sat out in the rain for a long time, and it really got rough. But over the past, between 2010 and 2018, it was rebuilt our shop by our volunteers. So anyway, at the helm of the car there is Louis. There's Louis, he's waiting. I don't know who's waiting there, Louis, but Jack. Jack, oh, Jack, okay. And that's Jack. Those 2 guys are gift committee, the major level of volunteers who recently overhauled and painted the Streetcars 1776. So anyway, now you guys are famous. You can take your ding car and head down the street. Thank you very much. I talked to you too much, I know. Stand now is Pittsburgh Railways PCC 1138, the oldest PCC in our collection. It was built in 1937 by the St. Louis Car Company, it was put into service and used in regular service until 1958. It was the Craft Avenue car for that most of its career. It ran on the routes that go to Eastport and Rankin Braddock and all the Fifth Avenue routes. Anyway, it came here in 1961 and was unloaded and operated on our track when the power was applied in 1962. It was massively or majorly overhauled or body work in the 60s, and it looked pretty good. But sadly, we had to put it outdoors because we were working on another car that arrived in 1970. So anyway, it got rebuilt again by the Amtrans company, which was a successor to the Westinghouse Transportation Division in Elmira, New York. And it was returned here in the radiant splendor that you see here, the 1955 or so paint scheme. It was rewired by our shop crew in between 1918 or 2018 and 2020, and it was eventually put back in service, and we have it in our regular operating fleet. So thank you, 1138. Ding ding. Coming up to the reviewing stand now is another streamlined PCC car from St. Louis Car Company. One of the last order of cars in the 666 car fleet that Pittsburgh Railways have PCC cars. This is car 1711, which you see is carrying a sign that said Pittsburgh, because until 1953, this car was on the Washington Urban route, and you could ride it from here or the fairgrounds or downtown Washington to Pittsburgh. And it took about an hour and 35 minutes. Went through Canonsburg, Houston, Meadowlands, and then all the way up through Peters Township to the train stop on the line where it picked up the line that was maintained after 1953. It was built with special equipment to run on the open track out here in Washington and also in Charleroi. You see that on the front end it has what people sometimes call a cow catcher, but that's really the technical name is pilot. That is a pilot for an interurban car. So it was an interurban car, PCC, 1711, piloted by Devin. Thank you, Devin. Devin's our master decorator. He's the guy that I was talking about before that puts all the snazzy funding on things. So ding ding. And down the street. 1711 was also completely overhauled at the Amtrak factory in Elmira, New York in 2002.
1730.
Okay, we looked at 1711. Now we're going to look at 1713. The cars of this series lasted in regular operation in Pittsburgh until the 1990s. And what we have here is the famous Steeler helmet design, terrible trolley. Everybody cheer. Hey, Steelers. All right. 1713 was kind of one of those things where we were all sitting around one night and somebody said, yeah, you know, we should paint a car up to be the terrible trolley. And somebody else said, well, you know, that car that's in Ohio in the barn that guy is trying to give us is a car that was the terrible trolley. And suddenly a light bulb lit up, and next thing you knew, we were bringing the car back here to put it back together. And it involved a lot of fixing of rust damage from being stored in a damp place for many years. So anyway, 2 years worth of work, 2 years plus, brought it back to the way you see it today. It was blessed by the Steelers and by Hiring Coach Foundation. It has the terrible trolley towel painted on the back end. And so it's a good find. Take a look at that. It's on the back of the car. So anyway, ding ding, who's in there?
CJ.
CJ, okay, ding CJ. Take it away. Here we go. All those decals were made from a photo, or many photos we had, and then the terrible trolley, all decals on the back, and painted by one of our volunteers.
4004.
So now you're going to start saying, well, you guys got a lot of these PCC cars here. Here comes the last iteration of the PCC cars in Pittsburgh, which is the 4000 series cars that were kept around and running in conjunction with the new light rail vehicles, the cars that are running today. Okay, 4004 was built again by St. Louis Car Company. You might not have guessed that. And it was put in service in 1949 as car 1739. There's a car just like this that's posed in front of the Bethel Park Community Center. You might have seen it there. It's on South Park Road. And so there's more than one of these right there. There's another one that's in front of the Port Authority's tower at South Hills Village. So you see there's a few of these around. Port Authority very generously picks this car up and repainted it in this scheme for us before they sent it here in 2004. So it got put in the operation by two of our hard-working volunteers, again, who decided that it could still be an operating car. And they made sure it had all right underneath, put a pole on the roof, and done the thing. Now you see on the roof there's also a pantograph, like the cars used today. That is a Hall pantograph built by our local company, Hall Industries, and was the original design that they used when they put pantographs on the trolley. On 4004, it was there for the purpose of cutting sleet off the wire when they had an ice storm. And it would have a sharp blade on the pantograph rather than a soft carbon insert. So anyway, the car 4004, built 1949, St. Louis Car Company, rebuilt it at South Hills Village, and put it back into service about 1988. Thank you, 4004.
Jeff.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, I have two left.
levels.
Yeah.
See all the buttons up there?
That's Jeff. That's our man Jeff. We put the car back in service along with Chris in 2007.